Hello and welcome to another multiplayer battle on Medieval 2, Call of Warhammer Beginning of the End Times, a mod for Medieval 2. Today we'll have a battle between Dark Elves and Skaven. The army composition is as follows: 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Dark Shard, no, 5 units of Dark Shards in a sort of T formation there. uh, 3 units of Blackguard of Nagarond, which are the elite spear units of the Dark Elves. They look very cool. I think possibly one of my favourite models in the game. And 4 units of Dread Spears. Then I have a unit of Corsairs, which are a good flanking unit. They have dual swords. They don't have a lot of defense value, but I think they're very high attack, so they're very good at flanking enemies. And or was it 5 units of Dread Spears? So you have 4 or 5 units of Dread Spears. And the cavalry is a unit of Dark Raiders, a unit of Cold One Knights, and our unit, so that's 2 units, 3 and 4 units of Cold One Knights and 2 units of Dark Raiders. The Dark Raiders are the missile cavalry of the Dark Elves. They fire their repeater crossbows. My opponent has picked a very good map for him, at least, because he's got a big hill here. As you can see, he's planted stakes, so I think the Warp Lightning Cannon is here. So it has a very good line of sight. I really like this map though. I mean, it's not the most balanced map, but it's a very cool scenario that the Skaven have decided to hold like a little hill fort sort of idea, and the Dark Elves have been sort of marching through this valley to get to I don't know, the Lostria or something, but wherever the Dark Elves and the Skaven would meet would probably be in the sort of North American continent of Warhammer, which is called Lostria. So, but I know this isn't Lostria map, but it's like theme. I'll go for his army. His army is a Warp Lightning Cannon, a Warp Fire Thrower, Packmasters, a unit of Albino Guard for the general, I think, another unit of Plague Monks, I think 3 units of Storm Vermin, 1 Clanrot Pikeman on the flank. Oh, there's a shot. And he tried to fire at the Dark Riders. He missed with the Warp Lightning Cannon shot, but his Warplock Gazelles got off some nice shots. So I was testing the firepower of the Warplock Gazelles with the Dark Riders, and I decided to swing them around the flank at a range and try to get some decent shots off on the flanks, try to weaken up some of the sides. So I decided to rush in because I've made the mistake of underestimating Warp Lightning Cannons in the past. So the sooner I get into combat and and I almost forgot, he sneakily deployed a Doom Wheel. Yes, a Doom Wheel. It's like a Skaven heavy elite tank. It's basically a steam tank, and look at that shot. Look at that shot. That just killed about 30-40 models in a single shot. Reacting to this immediately, I send my Cold Ones after it. He sneakily runs away in true Skaven fashion. I commit the charge with the Dread Spears. I've lined up and formed up. I wanted to kind of hit the clan rats with the cavalry before charging in, because I know how weak they are. His Warp Fire Throwers are firing into my men though. He's got a slight hill advantage, so he can fire over it. I try to pull through into the Giselles to stop them from firing. At the same time, I stop pursuing his Doom Wheel, which is hiding there on the wing, and it's about to get an excellent shot off, if I'm not remember correctly, on the Blackguard of Nagarond. If you watch this shot coming up, it's pretty insane. This is a elite unit that costs nearly 3 grand, and Watch what he's about to do to it. Boom! That is 60 models and a 3 unit gone. That is incredible. Doomwheel is not to be under, and that's got a high rate of fire as well. His warp lightning cannon fired a shot off on my Blackout Corsairs, which I left in reserve. The cavalry have engaged, and pretty much broken back the Stormvermin, but I've committed all my Dark Shards to shoot him off this hill, and the repeater fire and volleys into his rear lines. These crossbows are getting some excellent shots off. The cavalry are engaged against Stormvermin, so they've routed most of the clan rats, so I decide it's time to pull out with that unit that's engaging the Stormvermin and chase this Doomwheel, which has been a royal pain. I've sent everything in my cavalry contingent after this Doomwheel because it's super effective. I fired all my crossbows at it, and because crossbows are armor piercing, I think I get an excellent volley off on it. It's taking loads of shots here. He's trying to manoeuvre it, and there we go. That is how you deal with a Doomwheel. You just shoot it to death with repair crossbows. Dark Elves are a lot better than their High Elves at this kind of fight against Skaven, I think, because these repair crossbows just do so much damage and kill so many rats so quickly, plus they're armor piercing and can take down all but the heaviest of Skaven, with the exception of maybe the likes of rat ogres, but even then they'll still do a good number on them. So I'm firing all my crossbows into the Storm Vermin in the centre, which are now sort of engaged, but my Black Guard of Nagorond are holding this right wing here and slowly pushing through there. He's committed his clan rat pikemen, but I countercharged with all my cavalry, and you can hear some cool Velociraptor noises there. I don't know if you heard it, but I heard it from my headset, but I don't know if the game volume's a little low. It's just so you can hear my voice. I had the game volume a little low because in previous recordings I've had problems with the game sound and getting the right volume, so if anyone could give me some positive or some feedback at least on how effective the game volume is, that would be great. I see some charges opening up here. I finally decide that this Warp Lightning Cannon has done enough damage. It's been killing my Corsairs and other units. He uses the Plague Monks to soften the charge up, but I think I managed to just engage the Warp Lightning Cannon so it can't fire. I sent my Dark Riders into his Warplock Giselles from the rear because I decided his Giselles were doing enough damage as well. And I've countercharged with the Cold Ones. I pinned them with the Dark Riders. I kind of had to sacrifice the Dark Riders because those Giselles will do an absolute number on your morale. The Black Guard of Nagorond are slowly pushing up against this hill on the Skaven and are slightly winning. I get a charge off on his Plague Monks and half strength, or reduce them to half strength from a single charge, which is, they were about 7, well, they had about 100, between 80 and 100 models, and they're now down to like, what, 55? He sent his gut runners to chase after my cavalry and is now trying for a rear charge, but I see this and I'm like, I'm pulling out, so I don't want to get, I do sort of run through stakes here. I mean, I was a little lucky not to lose more models than I did, but I did pull through from the side and not from the front, so I was kind of running through it at an angle, so it wasn't as deadly. It's not as if I charged right into the stake. This Black Guard of Nagorond is waiting to flank. I forgot to prevent it, but I'm sending all my Storm Vermin in to support. No, it's not my Storm Vermin, sorry. I'm sending all my Cold Ones in to support the attack on the Storm Vermin. He's getting some extra shots off from his Warlock Giselles, which I'm still firing into this Albino Guard because I've decided they're the biggest threat now. So I've charged into the Storm Vermin, the Albino Guard, and getting another charge off with the Cold Ones into his units, and the Corsairs have finally arrived right up the middle to tackle these gutter runners. They've decided now's the time for the charge, and they're screening the charge from what's left of the Plague Monks. The crossbows have run out of ammo and decided let's help our Dark Elf brethren, and have committed to the charge. They're still a decent melee unit, although not as good as the regular sort of Dread Spears and Black Guard of Nagorond. They will still be an effective fighting force because they run out of ammo quickly. That's the thing about Dark Elves. You won't win a prolonged shootout, but you can do a lot of damage very quickly. Pulling out the cavalry again for more psychic charges because Skaven don't have a lot of mobility. Well, they don't have a lot of cavalry mobility. They're very fast and mobile army, but they rout easily, and they don't have a heavy hitting cavalry unit in my opinion. Maybe other than Doomflayers, but he didn't decide to bring any Doomflayers. But even then, Doomflayers are rather weak, and I'd consider them light cavalry. I think they are light cavalry actually. Again, on our charge on his Albino Guard, and we finally killed that Skaven general. He's been a pain in the side. He's got a warp fire thrower left, but I think he fired a unit into his own storm vermin and routed them in true Skaven fashion. So, and he admits defeat because the Albino Guard were fighting to the death. I decided to pull out so they wouldn't fight to the death in the rout, and it's a very close game. I did get double the amount of kills, but he did a lot of damage with that doom wheel. Like I'd like to know how many kills that doom wheel actually got, because it did kill about half a Blackguard of Nagaron unit and more. There's an R battle that I believe some of you may be interested in with the High Elves fighting Skaven. It's the same opponent, Kaptian Bludflags. I'd like to thank him for participating. It was a very fun battle. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you'd like to see more, consider subscribing, and thank you for watching.